Welcome back. We're here to talk about Broken Arrow some more, and this time we're going to be talking about the single-player campaign. We've previewed it in the closed beta earlier in the year, but this is the first time that we are showing footage publicly. So we're taking a look today at the first mission proper in the single-player campaign. There is a tutorial first of all, but we're going to show you something a bit more exciting than that, hopefully. This is the mission briefing screen. As you can see, the video is very much work in progress at the moment. This is placeholder. Video will be one of the last things to go in. Any voices you can hear over my voice, underneath my voice, are placeholder too. So don't get too worried if you hear something that doesn't sound entirely professional. So Felix, we're getting a briefing here. We can see a real world map around the Lithuanian-Belarus border. So perhaps you could tell us something about the scenario, the setting of this mission.
Yep. So, well, this is the second mission of the campaign after the first mission, which acts as a tutorial, interactive tutorial. What happened during the previous mission is that there was a problem during an exercise and a drone was shut down, a Russian drone was shut down. So there is an escalation of the different provocation on both sides. And what's happening here is that a quote-unquote humanitarian convoy, a military humanitarian convoy is sent from Belarus to Kaliningrad, and the general, so which is the character giving you the orders, is found that unacceptable and decide to stop this convoy.
Presumably, as it's a humanitarian convoy, you need to be careful about how you go about this.
Yeah, there are three main characters that you can see in the briefing. We don't have the voices ready, but they will be entirely voiced at the release of the game. So one is the General Bennett, who is the guy in charge of the US troops in the Baltics. The second being the Counselor Miller, who is a special envoy of Washington, a bit of a shady character, half politician, half arm dealer, and the third one being the Lieutenant Williams, and she's the aide de camp, the head of the general. She's here to give you tactical intel and stuff like that.
And we learn a little about all of these characters in the tutorial. Even we soon learn what Councillor Miller is like.
Yeah. You'll learn you'll learn about them in the first mission, and they continue to progress throughout the campaign. So this mission is called Peacekeeper. Is about stopping this convoy, but until proven otherwise, this is a humanitarian convoy, so you're not supposed to go gun blazing on it. So the Councillor Miller is insisting a lot on the fact that you should not do that. And this is teaching one mechanic to the player, which is the ability to hold fire for his troops. And we'll see that in the video.
So the highlighted white area here is that's the zone to which you need to move your troops?
Yes, it's an objective zone, so you capture these zones by sending ground troops in it, so either vehicles or infantry. And as you can see, well, in the game, your units are blue, so the blue units are the player units. The red units are the enemy, and the green units are allies. So for instance, there is a drone here that is a green color, which is not controlled by the player.
Okay. We saw, I think, at the bottom of the screen a moment ago, the spawn point for our friendly units as well.
Yes, absolutely. There is no base building in this game. It's all about combat. And so how it works is that in the top left of the screen, you can see the reinforcement menu. With a yellow number, which is the amount of money that you have, the reinforcement points that you have. And you gain reinforcement point over time. And once you got enough, you can buy units from the different categories. So here in the campaign, the amount of units that you have is limited. We are putting the focus on some types of units, different missions. This mission is focusing mostly on Striker cavalry group. So the Striker, it's a US wheeled armored vehicle, 8x8, which has many different variants, and almost all, if not all of them, are present in the game. So here we have a recon variant with an autocannon plus a laser designator. There is also in troop transport variant. There is a main gun system. There is an ATGM, so anti-guided missile version, etc. Well, anti-air. We'll see them, most of them, in this mission.
Troops always need transporting, don't they?
Not necessarily, but if they come on foot, it's going to be way longer to come. But it's still possible to buy them without the transport and send back a transport close to the spawn to get them back. But it is advised to take a transport with them. The advantage being that in the game, you have transport, you have infantry in your battle group, but you can mix them. And you can also mix them, multiple infantry units in a single transport. So for instance, in the support tab at the moment, the player has access to trucks, and trucks are like general purpose units. They can transport multiple squads, but they can also bring supplies to the front. Okay.
So at the moment you are reinforcing some objectives here, would that be right?
Yeah, what happened is that, so you placed, the player placed a blockade in front of the main axis of progression of the convoy. They stopped when they saw the strikers, so they were first moving back, and in fact moving to the side, trying to find another approach. And your objective is still to hold fire until fired upon, which just happened.
Perfect timing.
In the sense that, so drone was shut down. The general gives the order like, okay, fire at will from now on. They're not coming to shake hands. And that's when, well.
So we can see the convoy is moving on a number of different routes at the moment. So
yeah, the trucks moved back. The infantry is caught in the open. So for the moment, it's more like a turkey shooting. What we can see right now was a supply truck bringing supplies. It's a very important element of the game to keep your unit resupplied, because the number of ammunition is limited. And it's important to always think about getting some supplies ready, and if possible, thinking of it in advance and not waiting for the moment where you're running out of supplies. Indeed, to call them.
So supplies work for a number of different units. And
for all of them, actually, except planes which don't land to take it. But the supplies allows to get munition for your troop, but also to repair your vehicle, heal your infantry squads. So it's really the fuel of your army. Well, there is no fuel per se, but it's like without this, your units your front line will just crumble, and you will lose.
Yes, indeed. So we have a couple of tanks coming towards us. I think
it's not a tank; it's a fire support vehicle with it's a mobile gun system. No, it's a wheeled tank, basically, if you like. It's so it's Striker MGS. MGS stands for Mobile Gun System. It's a 105 gun on top of a Striker. Mm-hmm. So as I said earlier, it's a very multi-purpose chassis. So like here we have two MGS coming to support, because after engaging the convoy, they call reinforcements through the border. This is happening, by the way, in the town of Lasdijal in Lithuania, which is like something like 20-30 kilometers from the front line. It's really close to the border with Belarus. All right, so establishing a defense. We have buildings. Infantry is put in the buildings. Infantry has a bonus of stealth and a bonus of resilience when they are in a building. We can see in the middle of the screen that there is the resupply point that was set up, which is when it's animated in orange, it means that it's repairing and rearming the units. And yeah, unit preservation is really important. So it's losing a unit is always a mistake, or almost always a mistake. You really have to trade efficiently with your opponent. So as soon
and we can see here, for example, you don't have many resupply points at the moment, so you can't.
No,
can't keep spamming tanks.
Yeah, and the amount of units that you have in your battle group is limited. Like here, we're representing something like a reinforced company size unit, and you have something like maybe 10 infantry squad maximum, three fire support vehicle, 2 mortars. That you can run out of units rather fast. Luckily, they come back to the battle group. We have a system where your losses are not permanent. The objective with Broken Arrow is not to be too hardcore. So when a unit is destroyed, it becomes unavailable for quite long period of time, like several minutes, which feels long when you need it.
It's a long time in Broken Arrow.
Plus the time to come back later once you have spawned it. So yeah, you can be out of this unit for 5 minutes. But they end up coming in your battle group anyway, so it's not as punishing as the most hardcore war games and tactical games where you have a completely closed number of units, and if you lose them, it's over.
So, been defending pretty well so far, but yeah,
until now,
yes.
Until now, because the supply point has been hit by enemy artillery. So as you can see, everything is running around trying to avoid the kill zone of the artillery. When the units are flashing orange and red, it means they are panicked, they are shooting less efficiently, so more reload time, more dispersion in the weapons, stuff like that. Yeah. So not a good situation to be in. So yeah, artillery hit this position, and it becomes rapidly unsustainable to do that.
Indeed. So have we got anything that can counter artillery?
At the moment, no, and that's part of the dialogues of the missions. Yeah. Like you're only a company level, so you don't have division assets available. No long range artillery. The only indirect support you have in this group is our mortars, and they don't have the range to counterfire the artillery without exposing themselves. So that's not an option. So well, you have to use the mobility of the strikers. The vehicles that transport the infantry, they are transport, but they are not just that. It's every unit counts, and even a basic transport with a heavy machine gun is still bringing quite a lot of fire support for your troops. So it's possible to sell the units, to send them back to the base to get a refund. But in this case, using the transport as part of the troops is a better idea, because you're really fighting with everything you have, and you cannot afford to exclude some stuff.
Indeed, and as this is the first mission, we have a fairly small selection of units.
I'm introducing the elements of gameplay one by one. So here it's like light vehicles, and but you see, since you're lacking of artillery, you're calling for help for a Lithuanian artillery battery that is in the region that was training, because the scenario is that this whole situation happens in the middle of multiple military exercise exercises are happening both on Russian and NATO side. And so, okay, you can call upon Lithuanian artillery. They are not available yet, but they will come, and this should relieve a bit the pressure, because as you can see now, quite a lot of enemies
sea
approaching.
of red coming towards you. So what's your best strategy here then, to hold on until?
Survive. No, it's and it's half a joke, because it's by keeping your units alive that they can fight another day, and keeping your units alive is important. So as you can see here, it's like all the units are moved back using tree lines to stay in cover, try not to be completely overwhelmed. The artillery battery that was called is finally arrives. We can see an enemy artillery shooting in the distance, so there will be a counter-battery fire mission that is ordered, and another supply point explode to enemy artillery. So you see, it's going bad. Trying to gain time, save save a maximum of units by putting a screen of infantry to allow other units to come back. The
Cover and line of sight
Yeah.
have always been very important parts of Broken Arrow, haven't they?
Yeah.
And,
What we just saw here was the fire mission interface. When you use artillery, you can choose how you shoot, like which type of shells. We have regular explosive shells, we have smoke shells, we have guided shells, and you can choose if you want to fire for a short period, medium, long period, and you can also choose to aim just at a point, or in this case, it was aimed to make a line. So we identified the axis of progression of the enemies, and draw a line. It's easier, like to cover a larger area.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is getting dire here. And you see, well, the supply point is set on the side. I think there will be another, artillery is fired again. But generally, they're approaching, and there's not much you can do. Hopefully, so as soon as the battle started, you had the general wanted to send some jets, but well, since it's a bit of a surprise, none are really ready.
Yeah.
But Councillor Miller has some connections, let's say, and he get access to a pair of AC-130 gunships, which it's a special forces gunship. Once again, artillery firing in line, and and just when the situation was completely lost, here they come, saving the day. Note that it's a modern version of the gunship. It's a well-known plane with guns on the side, and this version is modern with also missiles under the wings in addition to the guns. So here we go. The cavalry arrives just in time.
And I mean, you mentioned it already about all the various options you have with artillery and transport, but seemingly every unit in the game is highly customizable.
Yeah, this thing happens in the deck creation process, where you can choose the different variants of units. In the case of the solo, you don't really choose. Like when they send you AC-130, you don't choose the loadout for it. It's like a bit like allies arriving. So, but yeah, every unit is in the game almost. There are very few exceptions that don't have any customization at all. Even simple trucks, it's like there are armored cabins, stuff like that. Putting a machine gun on top or stuff like that. So we really have a lot of variants. I think it's 300 units, and the total amount of variants is something like 1,500 or something like that. So I don't really have the total count.
Well, we can see a glorious victory there, thanks to the metaphorical cavalry, the A130s coming in. So I hope you like what you saw there today. That was just the first mission, so fairly hectic, fairly testing. Felix has watched me fail that mission many times over the last couple of years. Clearly, he's a lot better at broken arrow than I am. It is a hell of a lot of fun to play. It brings you up to speed very nicely, very challenging. So I can't wait for you to get hands-on with the game and be able to enjoy it for yourselves.